Hey everybody, it's me, Ashley Brooke. Um, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm autistic, and I have two autistic kids. And tonight I was scrolling through the support group messages and posts, and I came across one, and it read something like, if anybody had any like advice to give her because she is like she's pretty much expressing that she's overwhelmed and that her husband or significant other is not supportive when it comes to their son, or her son. She talks about her son. I'm assuming that it's his too, or maybe it's not. And he is not supportive and neglecting, and whenever the husband is home and not at work, the autistic child is demonstrating more disruptive behaviors, and she described it, I think, as like acting out, with his, I believe it was his overstimulation like issues that he was having. But she's describing it as like it's frustrating, the household. And she first describes that it's, that it's her husband's not supporting her. Then she says that it's that whenever he's here, the husband, that the child is acting different. And when she tries to talk to him for support and help or emotional support, he is not listening to her, doesn't care, not helping her. He's creating a vibe in that house, that man. He needs to take his ass back to work and stay there. I experienced this. This is why I don't date, you guys. This happens. It's very common. More than we like to admit, or, some of us just don't talk about it. When you have a child that requires special needs, men are not as attentive or understanding. And no one's going to love the child like a mother loves her child. And even if it is the man's child, men are not, where they should be when it comes to that role. Unfortunately not. I haven't seen it yet. If you've met one, please let me know, because I haven't met one yet. So a little experience share one of my experiences with you. So we'll talk about first Ozzy's dad. Whenever he'd ask me before he would come home from work, and I would give him a full body massage when he came home from work. And my son kept crying, and he was only like 4 months old. And I got up to go check my son, of course, and he cried again, and I got up a second time, and he told me that I was taking too many breaks to let the boy cry. Red flag number one. He was getting upset because his child needed me when I was doing something for him. You could already tell where that was going. Right down a staircase, because that's where he shoved my son in his stroller. And he beat me head to toe when I said I was leaving him. And men are weird. I left him when my son was 5 months old. And recently I went for a court-ordered visit, monitored for my son to have a visit with his dad. And it was court-ordered, it was monitored. Not me, I have some custody. And he refused to help my son go on a swing. The abuse continues. My son was devastated and heartbroken, and he was so excited to see his dad. And he had brought him clothes and probiotics and stuff. And because we left the park early because he was insensitive and totally neglecting my son, he said that he wasn't going to give my son the clothes that he had bought. And he's not going to give him the probiotics that he had bought him. He said, let your mother deal with that, son. And he keeps calling him son, like son. He's a little serious. It's so weird. I knew that guy seemed weird. He was fine in the beginning, knew him for years, and then as soon as he realized that that child was more important than him, that's when he started getting weird. And that's when I said goodbye. I left him and I never went back to him. Ozzy was 5 months old. I've had Ozzy by myself ever since. And he doesn't pay child support, he doesn't help at all. So, that's example number 1. Moving along to this one's. No. Biological. He was on psych meds. I didn't know how severe his condition was until he got off of his psych meds. He said it was making him groggy and he wanted to be off of it. He had turned into a completely different person. My son has his spitting thing where he does because of he has issues with his gut. We find out now that it's a medical condition. He's waiting to go see on October 1st. He sees the gastrologist. So I woke up and I caught her dad standing above my son while my son's sleeping, and I could have sworn he looked like he was going, like he was gonna spit on my kid. Oh hell no! I kicked him out of my house so quick. Men are weird. Remember this. They're not gonna act how they really act in front of you. And if the child's nonverbal and they think they can get away with it, men can be cold, especially when they have a temper or they're heated. When you have special children and your relationship isn't, if it's not, functional, if the man is causing you stress and not helping, if he's not, bringing any kind of relief to you. No. And I'm not talking, sometimes, look, I have these 2 kids by myself, and I left the home that I was living in with the first one. I was engaged. I left that home, and I had nowhere to live, but I left. Things can be hard sometimes financially in the beginning, but you know what? There is no price. There's no price that I wouldn't pay to keep my kid away from any asshole, some abusive ass man. And I don't care if they're putting in their hands in him or not. You're emotionally abusing a child. And you know that a child is special and you are being insensitive, or even if you're ignoring, like not even saying hi, how's your day? If he's buying another kid in the house a toy, not him, if he's playing with them, taking one of them out to go eat and not the other one, you better end that shit real quick, or you're a bigger fool than he is. No child deserves to live in a house with that vibe. Now I have these 2 kids, and I'm waiting for my Section 8. But my mom used to say that. It pisses me off. Okay? And I'm autistic, so I grew up in a house where they were talking crap to me and mistreating me because I was different, and they thought that I wouldn't ever remember, and they probably thought I didn't understand, but I did. And I don't remember. I don't forget anything. I remember every messed up thing they said about me and to me. Now today, my family, they disappear. They're like little ghosts. Why? Because I speak now. And they don't want to face me. They don't want to talk to me. They already know that I know and remember everything. So they're very inadequate pieces of poop. That's what they are. So I left, and I'm struggling right now. I barely got Section 8. I've dealt with a lot of discrimination from roommates. I could have been like, oh, I'm going to stay for the kids and to stay with the man so we can afford to live. Bullshit. The kid's going to afford to live in a house where you're getting beat up in front of him? Afford to live in a house where you're emotionally abused and you're sitting in your room crying? That's what my mom used to do. I used to walk in all the time and I used to catch her crying by herself in the bed. The hell? What kind of kid wants to walk in on their mom all the time crying? It's horrible. I can fucking cry all by myself. I don't need some jerk to add to my mess. I don't know. Maybe it's my autism or something. Because I don't have patience. I cannot handle. And not even a little bit of someone's nonsense. I only have patience for my children. That's it. Just remember, the way that the man acts in front of you to the kid is probably like 6 times more intense when you're not there. Especially if they're in a bad mood. That's just statistics. So, if you're a strong woman like I am, I don't care what you gotta do. If you don't have the financial stability, you go and apply for some Section 8, go put yourself in some damn domestic shelter, domestic abuse shelter, I don't care, DV shelter. I went and lied and put myself in a drug rehabilitation center, easy, just to go get a safe shelter for my children. So you do what you gotta do, and then you get your damn Section 8, and then you have your own place, and then you don't need a man, period. It's not the same anymore. There's no family value. These men ain't respecting your kids. It's bedtime for you. For real. We have enough to deal with as mothers to special needs children. The children need us. They don't need us to see us all angry, all hurt. And if you have girls, they're gonna think that that's how a man's supposed to treat them. Because mom dealt with it. Mom put up with it. And if they're boys, they're going to think that they can go around treating women like that. Because that's how dad treats mom, and mom takes him back. Don't tolerate any mess. No one has a right to make you feel any bad way, especially when it comes to you being attentive and caring to your children. If that man doesn't respect that, if he doesn't help that, then he's a piece of shit. Period. Sorry. I had to accept it, and I got rid of the assholes. It's time you do. Let's go to bed, sweetheart. Ándale, mamis. What? Alright, everybody. I'm sorry I had to come over here and say that. Don't take it personal. I'm not talking at you. We all went through the same thing. Most of us women out there with special needs kids. It's just time that you need to stand strong and kick his ass out.